Hello everyone, my name is Alex, and today I'm going to be reviewing I Expect You to Die. I Expect You to Die is the seated single-player escape room puzzle experience developed by Schnell Games. It costs $25 on the Oculus store and is a cross-buy title, which is awesome, meaning of course if you buy it for the Rift or for the Quest, it doesn't matter, you're going to get it on both for the same price, which is always great. In this game, you are a secret agent in the 1950s and 60s era, and you'll be thrusted into these perilous missions from which there's seemingly no escape, but of course, it's up to you, the player, to find out how to get yourself out of that situation. I feel like I played this game at the perfect time because right as I had finished my first playthrough of the game, I almost kind of felt like I wanted more, and then I went online only to find out that the DLC, Seat of Power, which is an extra level that they basically just add to the end of the game, was going to be coming out in the next couple of days. So I finished the first playthrough and then had the opportunity to do the DLC right after, which I think is great. You can really tell the developer's passion for this game right off the bat during the opening credits sequence. There's an original song which is really good, super catchy, the singing's great. I found myself singing it days later in my head. And it's very, very fitting for the theme and feel of this game. It was really engaging with awesome visual effects, and I couldn't help but have a smile on my face the whole time that I sat there and listened to it.
I expect you to die. When you finally see the worst side of me, will finally be eye to eye. I expect you to die.
And this game really does do a good job of all of those little details that really help flesh out the experience and capture that theme, that old school secret agent vibe that they were really going for. The controls are pretty good in this game. You use a combination of telekinesis and your typical normal virtual object manipulation with the controller. I feel like they did a good job of making objects still visible and able to be interacted with, even if they fall behind things like the desk that's sitting in front of you or fall out of view somewhere. There's been games before where you drop an item and it becomes very hard to see where it went, and they have a system here that allows you to interact with the objects even if they fall or you lose track of them for a second. The puzzles are super, super fun and just difficult enough to give me a handful of good head-scratcher moments without becoming frustrated, being unable to figure out how to advance in the level. And I would say there was probably one time during each mission that I did not know what to do or how I was going to get out of there. But with a little bit of patience and true detective-style sleuthing, I was able to escape my way out of all of the missions in the game. Visually, I think the game looks really, really good. The graphics are nice. There was never any moment where I was like, oh, that looks bad. Or there's been some experiences on the Quest that I've been able to tell that there was like a lack of graphical ability there, but I kind of forgot that I was playing on a mobile device when I was playing Expect You to Die, at least when it comes to the visuals. That being said, one department in the game that I did feel was a little bit lacking was the audio. I noticed that the 3D audio wasn't perfect. There was times where I could hear something happening just to the left of me, but it was actually happening all the way behind me. And the 3D audio wasn't quite putting the sound exactly where the thing was. So I mean, it was close. Like if it was basically on the left-hand side, it would come through my left ear. But for the most part, I did notice multiple times that the 3D audio did not spatially place something perfectly while I was playing the game, which for me, the audio is a really, really big deal. If you can nail the audio, you really can nail the immersion. And it did pull me out of the immersiveness of the game just a couple of times when I noticed that the sound wasn't exactly where it needed to be. Additionally, sounds of things like explosions and really any time that I actually died, it almost felt a little anticlimactic. Like the bomb explosion didn't scare me. Where I play games like Firewall Zero Hour on the PS4 when the grenade explodes on my feet and that scares me and I feel like I died. This was not so much. The deaths most of the time just felt a little anticlimactic, with the exception of the stuff like the poisonous gases. That during the poison gas times I did kind of feel, like I was scrambling, trying to prevent myself from dying. But yeah, bomb explosions and things like that just didn't quite shake me. Didn't really make me feel like I had just died. It was a little soft. After you complete the main game, there is an option to turn on these little speech bubble buttons that are clickable and give you developer insights as to what they were thinking about when they made that certain part of the game, or some of the design elements or some of the things that they scrapped before they showed you this final product. And I really love the transparency of Chanel games here. I love it when developers are transparent and tell it like it is, and kind of let us into their world a little bit. And I really appreciate that. The regular playthrough of the game took me about 3 hours or so, including the extra level, the Seat of Power DLC. But there's definitely some good replayability here. There are collectible souvenirs, as they call them, that are obtained by completing specific objectives that are kind of outside of your normal mission on each of the levels. And those souvenirs you take with you back to your home base, and you can decorate your home space there with the items that you earned by completing these other weird kind of out-of-the-box style thinking objectives on each level. Sometimes there's more than one way to solve a certain puzzle as you're going through the level, and it will reward you for sometimes taking that more creative path by getting these souvenirs and by unlocking these achievements. So I definitely have felt the urge to go back into the game and play around a little bit, do some outside-of-the-box style thinking, and figure out what I can do to unlock the souvenirs for the rest of my little home base there. So what's the verdict? I Expect You to Die is a lot of fun. Honestly, I had a great time playing it. It was, it's kind of like if Job Simulator had a hardcore mode where like you make the sandwich wrong and it explodes in your face and kills you. It's kind of what this game feels like. It's fun and loose, but also exciting and intense. There's a good amount of humor in it. The voice actor who does the contract handler is cheeky and entertaining, and he was pretty good. And if this game's been on your radar and you've been curious about it, I can go ahead and tell you that it's probably safe to pull the trigger on it. I had a really good time playing it, and honestly, I will play it again. Chanel Games provided me with a code to do this review for the Oculus Quest version of their game, so thank you guys so much for doing that. But like I said earlier, at around 3 hours, this is, I guess technically a bit of a shorter experience. There's not too much to see here, so I don't want to say too much more, just because I'm not trying to spoil the game for you. If there was something that you were curious about or you have any questions, definitely let me know in the comments, and I would love to answer it. I'm all about engaging with the community. Please like the video if you've made it this far into it, and if you're not already a subscriber to the channel, please consider doing so. VR can use all the love that it can get right now. I can use all the love that I can get right now, and let's love each other. Let's push VR into the mainstream together. But I'm looking forward to doing lots more game reviews, lots more product reviews, and we have a lot more exciting stuff coming up, including Game on Expo in Phoenix next month. But you'll see a little bit more about that as we get a little bit closer. But until then, thank you so much for stopping by the channel and taking the time to watch the videos here. Hit me up. Let's play some games. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.